You can dive in and disappear. Crocodiles prefer stupid people. This bird is the most terrifying bird you could ever encounter.
If someone falls into the water, is there a chance for them to make it out safely?
Australia is mostly famous for having the most dangerous wildlife in the whole world. If you ask someone what they know about Australia, they'll likely mention its venomous spiders and snakes. Many people hesitate to visit out of fear of getting bitten or stung. But is life really like that in Australia? Or is it just a media narrative meant to scare people away? So today I am in the state of Queensland in Australia. This state is the gateway to the Daintree Forest, one of the most dangerous and oldest forests in the world. I assume this place is the most appropriate place to answer the question, is Australia really a dangerous country? I am now in the middle of Cairns city in northeastern Australia. When I first arrived, I spotted a poster warning about the spread of electric ants. That's just a glimpse of what's in store for us here. As you stroll around, you'll notice the trees. They're everywhere. It's almost all you see as you walk. This trip is clearly going to be different from any other. This is like a fairy tale. Amazing. If we're talking about the deadly animals in Australia, it is necessary that our journey begins here in Queensland in Cairns. In this city there is one of the oldest forests in the world, dating back around 133 million years. Can you believe animals have been living here since the time of the dinosaurs? And today we'll get to see some of them. The forest is called Daintree Rainforest, and here we have the Cairns Corniche. Honestly, dawn is truly the highlight of the day here. If I had known how stunning it was, I would have woken up early every day just to experience it. What's amazing about this city is that the view from the plane itself was no different at all from the view I saw from the plane in the majestic Amazon forests. I felt like I had traveled to a place that is really different than any other place I had been to in Australia. As I explore this city further, I keep getting this feeling that this place gives off forest vibe more than just a city surrounded by trees. Look at that plane! It's incredible. Unfortunately, I can't fly my drone because the airport is right in the city center. I still can't believe we're in the heart of the city with such a massive tree right next to us. What kind of tree is that? It looks like a banyan to me. What's even more unusual is the warning about bats. There are many here. But the most famous bat is the flying fox bat. It's one of the largest bats in the world, but thankfully it's not the deadliest. Still, I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of its pee or poop. Is this what the poster says? It advises being cautious if you're bitten or scratched, as this can lead to certain diseases. If that happens, it's important to go to the hospital right away. Very nice. Man, even the bird sounds here are much more exotic. It's really different than what we're used to. I can't believe this is the city center. Just look at that tree. Before we leave the city, I want to show you something interesting. In Australia, Easy Mart supermarkets can be found every 20 meters. Look at this. What's interesting is that the owner of this chain is Jordanian with the surname Mokabla, and the franchise shop managers are usually Jordanians. Let me introduce you to Luay.
Hello?
How are you, Luay? I'm so happy to see you.
We are more than happy to see you covering for us in Australia.
Thank you.
It is my pleasure.
Thank you. I met him here in the shop. What is the most Australian snack around here? Something really famous in Australia.
Vegemite.
Vegemite?
Yep.
Okay, I heard it's really disgusting.
If you put a lot, yes.
Right, I'll take one more. What else? Tim Tam?
Yep.
Is it a kind of chocolate?
Thank you very
Is
much.
this too Australian?
Pure Australian, Aussie.
Okay, I'll take this and the Vegemite. Okay, so we have our Tim Tams and Vegemite. Honestly, it's a great honor that this big brand here that is all over Australia has Jordanian origins. Thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Take care. About half an hour away from the town of Cairns, there is a small village named Palm Cove. But here and really across all of northern Australia, we've got a bit of a problem in the ocean. The problem is alligators, specifically saltwater alligators. Did you know, my dear, that in Australia crocodiles swim in the ocean? It's quite terrifying. You didn't know that, right? How are people swimming there? Every year, around 2 people are attacked by these saltwater crocodiles. Usually, if a croc attacks you, that's it. You're done. Especially this kind because it's so aggressive. Their strikes are precise, quick, and deadly. There's almost no coming back from them. If it attacks you, then it's game over. They usually live here in Queensland and Northern Australia. The beach may look harmless, but usually there are crocodiles. Authorities have designated safe swimming areas, but I can see people swimming casually beyond these safe areas. This is insanely reckless, but crocodiles prefer stupid people, so this is a win for them. The government has done a solid job to alert people by putting up thousands of warning signs, noting that the seas are tropical and that there is a very high risk of encountering harmful jellyfish, Malfi, Malfin, Noabi. They also added that even if they say that this isn't jellyfish season right now, that's not a guarantee of anything because they could still show up. Everyone who enters these waters does so at their own risk, as you can see here. The most recent lethal crocodile attack happened exactly here on this shore around 4 years ago. A tourist was walking by the sea at about 9 o'clock at night. You know, like she's in a rom-com movie. She was walking barefoot along the water when suddenly, without her even realizing what's happening, a crocodile attacked her quickly and took her away. And from that day on, no one ever saw her again. I really don't understand people who swim here. This story is just one of many that happen in the waters of Northern Australia, because the whole Queensland area, almost all of Northern Australia, has these crocodiles, saltwater crocodiles. And that's the first thing you need to be very careful about if you come to this part of Australia. Honestly, it wasn't really part of my plan to visit this area, but a lot of tourists come here for the beaches and because it's a quiet place. So I thought, since I'm already driving, why not stop by and check out this part of Australia at my own pace? And so that we could see this area of Australia at our ease, I decided to rent a car. Turns out I got the wrong one. Very nice. Oh God. The road I'm driving on right now is considered the second most beautiful road in all of Australia, coming just after the iconic Great Ocean Road in Melbourne. I am currently on the second most beautiful road, the Great Barrier Reef Drive, which runs beside the reef. Behind it is the Great Barrier Reef. The views are more breathtaking than ever. I stopped at a place that was supposed to be the most beautiful view you could see on this beautiful road. Honestly, after everything I've seen, this one's kinda meh. This is known as Rex Lookout. And it offers an excellent view of the Great Barrier Reef Drive. Honestly, I think one of the best things you can do as a tourist here is rent a car and just drive down these stunning roads. The street itself is an important landmark. The sea is so beautiful from here. It's breathtaking. Even though Australia is on a distant continent and remains unknown to many, it is for sure extremely beautiful. an hour of driving, I arrived at Port Douglas. This town is also well known for its beautiful beaches, but its history is particularly intriguing. The reason it was originally established is because there were gold mining operations in the area, and they needed some sort of facility or hub to help people get to and from those mining sites more easily. But by the end of the 20th century, a businessman named Christopher Charles had a vision. He wanted to transform this city into a premier destination for travelers seeking luxury. He actually looked for many investors and brought these investors and took their money and built a resort. But the problem is that he did not use most of the money he took for the project, but rather used it for his own purposes and to enjoy his life. He had a private jet that no one would dream of. But after his secret was revealed that he was a thief, he fled to Mallorca in Spain and lived the rest of his life there. In the end, when the authorities discovered that he was there and tried to bring him back to Australia, he pretended that he was on his deathbed and that he could not travel, so they were unable to catch him. But just 2 weeks later, an Australian saw him running on the beach with his dogs, hardly looking like someone on his deathbed. In the end, no one ever caught him, and he died while still owing over $700 million. This is why today we have a city called Port Douglas, a city of resorts and 5-star hotels, and it has a beautiful beach called 4 Mile Beach. This is the beach, let's go see it. Welcome to 4 Mile Beach. This beach is called 4 Mile because it is 4 miles long. Yes, it's a cliche, but look at how beautiful it is. See how beautiful it is? A cute beach, perfect for swimming, but you should always be careful on these beaches to only swim within the area marked by flags like these 2 flags. And of course, there's a reason for everything here. Nothing is random. Did you know, my friend, that the beaches in northern Australia, including the one I'm at, have jellyfish whose venom can kill 60 people? From November to May, on the beautiful northern beaches of Australia, you have the season of a special type of jellyfish, the box jellyfish. This creature measures only a few centimeters in size, up to a maximum of 30. But underneath, it has tentacles that typically range from 1 to 3 meters in length. This cute little creature has a venom that can kill 60 people. It is the most poisonous marine creature in the world. It is usually found on these beaches, especially between November and May. If one of this creature's tentacles touches you, you'll experience an intense pain, considered among the worst and most unbearable in the world, because even tranquilizers fail to relieve it. This means that even if this jellyfish touches you and you do not die, you will wish that you were dead because of the pain that you will feel in the 3 days after you were stung by it. Indescribable pain, according to people who have experienced it. They say they wish they have died instantly, instead of feeling this pain. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Fort Douglas. This place, like Palm Cove, is a small village where most people are tourists visiting the resorts and the beach. And here, if you don't get eaten by a crocodile, you might get stung by a deadly jellyfish. Why anyone goes swimming here is beyond me. The box jellyfish, often known locally as the sea wasp, is extremely hazardous. Its sting is severe and can leave long-lasting scars on the body. You can't get rid of them. Despite the fact that it is already 1:30 p.m., it is time for coffee and lunch. Just so you know, this chicken burger costs around 18 Australian dollars, which is equivalent to 14 or 15 US dollars. Here we go. Let's go. I feel like I'm driving a car in a movie, like I'm driving on a movie set or something. Almost the entire area I'm driving in now has fields. Look at them. These fields are full of something that looks like wheat, but it's not wheat. The stalks there aren't exactly wheat. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's cotton. I'm not sure. Please leave a comment if you know, because I am quite curious. I just want to reach my next destination, but I can't help stopping. These stunning beaches keep catching my eye everywhere I go. While I was driving, I saw a beach with sand islands that looked absolutely stunning. It has these small sand islands that looks just like the one we visited in Socotra. What was the name of that place? Kalansia, maybe? I completely forgot. But I paused here to take in the scenery. Look at this warning. It says to remain 5 meters away from the water. Because crocodiles are really smart, they know how to hide extremely well. They often stay close to the edge of the water so that when someone gets near, they can quickly strike without being even noticed. And just like that, people disappear forever. Anyway, let's go. I'm running late for the next place we're heading to, where we're going to see crocodiles. I finally arrived at the place where we are going to get on a boat to see the crocodiles. Let's do it!
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Are you booked on?
Yes. Are we guaranteed to see crocodiles?
No, so you're in the wild, so anything can happen, you know?
Yeah.
But hopefully you can get lucky today.
I had bought 2 Mount Fiji shirts. I lost one.
Oh my god!
That's mine.
Where did you get it from?
Tokyo.
Oh, so cool. He is wearing the same shirt as me.
Very nice, man. Where are you from?
I live in Sydney.
Wow, I got mine in Singapore.
Exactly the same.
It's so funny. What a small world. I didn't expect to find my shirt twin.
Okay, so this trip costs around 35 Australian dollars. And the tour on the river, called the Daintree River, I think, lasts about an hour. If you ever think about swimming here, just know you might end up as a tasty dinner for the crocodiles lurking in this river. We'll undoubtedly see crocodiles.
Alright, I got 22. We'll see you later, right?
How many do you usually come back with?
22.
Good question, good question.
Alright, so I went 9 kilometres up the Daintree River here. It's a pretty good day for looking at crocodiles. The sun's out and the water's cold. This time of the year, this is when the crocodiles sit in the sun and warm up. Because at night, the air temperature's only 15, 16. They eat crabs and insects, and it looks like it's got a crab, like male crocodiles.
We're going to see our first crocodile. Look at this cute little crocodile. He's 12 years old.
About 1 in 60 hatchlings will ever get there.
Oh. If they're less than 2 meters, who are their predators?
They can get eaten by bigger crocodiles, bull sharks, birds of prey. I'll probably show you a few small crocodiles and you'll see what I mean.
If someone falls into the water, is there a chance for them to make it out safely?
Yeah, I wouldn't be splashing though. They don't like splashing. Oh, they love splashing, so don't splash. We don't have that many crocodiles. It's not like there's 20 under the water that we can't see.
Okay.
Every crocodile that's here, we know.
Alex.
How old do they live?
They might live to be 100 years old. People don't know exactly how old a crocodile can live, but in captivity, I think the oldest one ever recorded, if it's accurate, was 140.
Maybe they might even live longer than those big.
This crocodile is 70 years old. I am not sure whether you can see it clearly. It is a saltwater crocodile. They can get up to 6 meters long and weigh a ton. This beast is extremely dangerous. Get too close and you won't stand a chance. It can charge at speeds between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. Once it's after you, there's no outrunning it. This crocodile is approximately 5 meters long.
She's another 3 metre female. She's up nice and high, so you get a good look at her. And she's got her mouth open, so that means she's regulating her temperature. So they open her mouth up, creates a bit of a cavity and helps cool the crocodile down. The other option is the crocodile has to go in the water, and that means their temperature drops quite a bit. So they do this first.
That one over there is 30 years old. We are from the same generation. I'll turn 30 in a few months. I believe she was born in 1994, like me. We found a baby crocodile here, about less than an inch in size. He told us that only 1 out of every 60 crocodiles actually survives, because not only do birds prey on them, but even sharks sometimes swim into the river and hunt them down. That's sad. Few survive, but if he does, he'll rule the river.
Launch up.
Yeah, they can. I've seen a crocodile get about that high vertically to try and get a bat that was in the branch.
Right.
And she's still a nesting animal. So that's the way you stay away from murky water.
That was a trip full of crocodiles. These crocodiles that we saw can also be seen along the seashore. They are considered the smartest crocodiles. You know that it is recommended for people who want to camp on the beaches, for example, not to stay in the same spot for more than 12 hours. Because after 12 hours, the crocodiles might have figured out your routine at the camp you set up, and they could ambush you in a way you'd never expect. You need to be careful if you come to Australia. Let's go. This is the last place I will visit today. We're on our way to a camp right now. I found a hostel camp. To reach the Daintree Forest, we have to cross a river. And that means hopping onto a car ferry, a boat designed to carry vehicles across the water. You simply drive your car onto the ferry and it takes you across to the other side of the river. They've tried building bridges in the past, but constant flooding kept destroying them. So now, the only way across is this ferry, which costs $50 for a round trip. So I need to pay $50.
How much?
47 for return.
That's it.
So, yep, I'll bring your ticket back in just a minute.
Thank you.
Bro, we actually paid $45 just so we can cross a river. The ferry has arrived on the other side of the river. And now we are officially in Daintree Forest. Finally, after a 3-hour drive, I've arrived at the place where I'll be spending the night. I'm at the Daintree Crocodile's hostel and camp, right in the heart of the forest.
I have a booking.
First things first, I need some money.
Yeah. Okay.
So that silver pole just there is where you're going to turn a hard left.
Regarding the food, what would happen if I had food?
Oh, we just have some little creatures. They're called fawn-footed Thornton Peak malamies.
Okay. That's
So
a long name.
they look like a little mouse and they're endemic to this forest. You won't find them anywhere else in the world. But they're more voracious than mice. So we keep all of the food out of the room to stop them visiting your room and trying to see what's inside your bags.
As soon as I checked in, they warned me against having food in my room. They told me to either keep my food in the car or use their kitchen. The night tour costs $45 to walk in the forest and see the animals that come out at night, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to vlog it. We'll see. We're in the middle of the forest. This is my room. The tent is simple, and this, my friends, is the place where you can stay in the middle of the forest. For like $30 a night. $30 US in Daintree Rainforest. This is a shared room. It's meant for 4 people. But it looks like I'm the only one here tonight. I just went down for dinner. I'm going to try this now, and I'm not sure if my next clip will be tonight or tomorrow. I'm worried I might not get a chance to show you any animals tonight. So guys, we started our tour around the forest, and so far, all we've encountered are various spiders.
And you can see the holes in the net. That's birds going for it. This web really, really strong. This is something that happens with all spiders. So she's in the center there, and she's actually going to destroy this and probably rebuild it again tomorrow. Okay, and she'll eat the entire web because there's protein in it. But you can see the ones that go out. Okay, that's the main structure of the web. Now when a spider has a web, she spits it out through her spinnerets on the tail. Okay, she produces a dry web and a wet web. If it's a wet web, everything gets stuck to it, including her. Okay, the main structure of the web is actually dry. However, the ones that are going through like that, she makes her own design. It might be 2 wet ones, 3 dry ones, 4 wet ones, 5 dry ones. The only one that knows is that spider. So another spider of the same type can't run across the web and even get to her. Okay. This one's totally different. She actually not only spits it out, but she weaves it as she's doing it. They've unravelled one of those threads and they tested it for strength, for the size of it, and they found out it was 100 times stronger than any we've known to man. They copied it in fine nylon and steel. If you come over here, you can actually see how strong it is.
Wow, I didn't expect the web to be this strong. This plant in front of me is considered one of the oldest plants in the world. Look at its leaves. There's no central vein or lining. That's because this plant actually predates the kind of leaves we see today, the ones with a clear vein running down the middle. Good morning. Yesterday we went on the night tour. We learned a lot about nature, spiders, the history of the forest, the trees in it and everything. Filming was a bit challenging though. Now, we're continuing our tour in the car. As we drive through Daintree Forest, you'll see these signs. Let me introduce you to the most dangerous bird in the world. This sign right here is about the cassowary. It's a bird native to this region, the Daintree Forest. This bird plays a vital role in preserving the forest's ecosystem. That's because this bird feeds on various forest fruits, especially those with large seeds. After digestion, it drops the seed, giving it a chance to take root and grow into new trees. And without the cassowary bird, there is little prospect of this fruit sprouting again. For example, if you planted this fruit, there is a 3% chance that it will grow into a tree. However, after the cassowary eats it and drops the seed, the chances of it developing into a tree increase to 95%. That's why many of the forest's trees depend on the cassowary to eat their fruit and help spread their seeds. But if I ate this fruit right now, I would die because it is incredibly poisonous. However, the cassowary has worked out a way to consume it without dying. So when it eats the fruit, it drops the seed, which grows into a tree. This is the story. I traveled down this road a few days ago. I didn't get much footage, but we did see 3 cassowaries. So far on this journey, I haven't seen any, but hoping we will see one as we drive down this road today. This bird is the most terrifying bird you could ever encounter. Unbelievable. But why is this bird considered so dangerous? Cassowaries are supposed to be close relatives of dinosaurs. It is thought that this creature coexisted with dinosaurs, and it certainly has a strange, ancient appearance. In fact, the cassowary is the world's 2nd largest bird, after the ostrich. When fully grown, it can weigh up to 60 kilos. And it descends from some dinosaur lineages. Its legs are what really make it deadly. There are 3 claws on each leg, and they are each around 5 centimeters long. These claws are incredibly sharp, almost like daggers. If it attacks another animal or a human, it can easily kill them. While there have been numerous cases of cassowaries killing canines, there has only been one documented instance of a cassowary killing a human. There was a young boy who tried to provoke the bird, and the cassowary responded by attacking him, slashing his chest open with its sharp claws. And the poor boy bled to death. This might occur if someone tries to provoke the bird. So, to anyone coming here, don't provoke it. What makes this bird special, though, is first its vibrant colors. Secondly, it has a strange rocky formation on its head that to this day scientists still don't understand why it's there or why no other creature has it. Thirdly, a human can be killed by its claws. Fourthly, it's currently endangered. There are presently just approximately 1/200 left in Australia. Lastly, it has the deepest voice of any bird in the world. Some say it sounds like a dinosaur. Whoa. Whoa. Something like that. saw an odd bird while strolling in the forest. It has a yellow neck and red head. I'm not sure what it is though. It looks a bit like a cassowary, but it isn't one because cassowaries have that stone-like thing on their heads. Awesome! Goodbye. Really amazing. It seems like we're not having the best luck with the weather today. No sun, just rain. In 1770, during Captain James Cook's first voyage from Britain to explore the continent of Australia, he passed through an area that today is called Cape Tribulation, or Bay of Tribulation. This place was named after James Cook. James Cook's ship almost sank after getting stuck on the coral reefs here, which is how this place got its name. Eventually, though, they made it to a beach near the northern town of Cooktown, where they were able to repair the ship just enough to set sail and sail back to Britain. And what's fascinating is that if they hadn't survived that incident or fixed the ship, Australia might today be speaking Spanish or even French. Today, the spot where all this happened is known as Cape Tribulation. Because this location is home to crocodiles, observe how everyone on the beach is keeping their distance from the waves and the sea. Look, there's a warning here. For some reason, the signs are written in German. I don't know. Maybe crocodiles here prefer to eat German people. In case someone swims here and gets stung by a jellyfish, vinegar is available here. This vinegar can help alleviate the initial sting symptoms, but of course, you still need to go to the hospital afterward. Also, you need to prepare your grave and the funeral because you will die shortly after. The second reason Cape Tribulation is such an important and special place, beyond just its historical significance, is that it's the only spot in the world where two UNESCO World Heritage Sites actually come together in one location. We have the Great Barrier Reef, which we will visit, located right in front of this beach, and the other place is the Daintree Forest. This beach is where these two really important natural heritage sites meet. I am sorry, guys. Today my voice is fading. I hope you can still hear me clearly. Do you see the chocolate we have here? Tim Tam! It's really important for Australians. You can criticize them, but do not criticize Tim Tam. This sweet little chocolate has the spirit of national pride for them. To them you can insult anything, but don't mess with Tim Tam. Honestly, it's delicious. As you go through the forest, you'll encounter a variety of unusual and amazing insects and creatures. There's a spider here. I haven't seen anything like it anywhere else, honestly. I'm not sure whether you can see it, but it has a shell that resembles the Batman logo. I'm not sure whether it's the Batman logo or a spider. Do you see it? It's directly between us now. My goodness. The one I've seen the most in various regions is known as the golden orb weaver in English. I'm not sure what it's called in other languages. I'm going to try and find one for you to see, but it's unbelievable how big they get. We saw one in Sydney Park, if you remember. I will try to find one. It's amazing to walk through a place that's over 100 million years old. These trees basically come from way back. They're from an ancient era long before our time. Finally, I have found what I've been looking for. There it is. It's called the golden orb weaver. It looks terrifying and huge. He feels like he might pounce on you and eat you. However, this type of spider is absolutely harmless to humans. It cannot harm you at all. I've arrived at a walking track in the forest. Let's try walking it and see what we can find. From here, this majestic forest is between 130 and 180 million years old, which actually makes it the oldest forest on the planet. Its old age means it actually survived several ice ages that wiped out most other forests. A lot of trees couldn't handle the cold, but this one survived all of the terrible conditions, including ice ages, storms, cyclones, tsunamis, and everything else that has happened here. That is why we can still find trees and animals that are older than dinosaurs. When dinosaurs roamed the globe, they walked through this forest, which is why it has such a diverse plant population, unlike any other forest in the world. In a moment, I'll show you some examples. See that palm tree right behind me? The one with those round, spread-out leaves? That's called a fan palm, named after the shape of its leaves that look just like a big green fan. It is a significant tree for Australia's indigenous people, who used it for a variety of purposes. They used the leaves, for example, to weave baskets, and they used these tree trunks as a highly effective anesthetic. Sometime way back in the day, let's say, someone got hurt and needed to ease the pain during surgery or something really serious. They'd just chew on one of these roots, which would numb their whole face and chest. Now, even if you somehow avoid dying in Australia from a spider bite, a snake bite, a shark attack, or a sting from a box jellyfish, and even if we took away all the dangerous creatures, would you be safe? No, my friend, not. In this huge forest, there's a very interesting tree called stinging tree, I guess. If you know nothing about it, you might think it's like any other tree here. A normal old tree with cute heart-shaped leaves that are covered in fine hairs, like in the photo I'll show you. It looks so harmless and cute, like something you'd want to pick up and touch. But the moment you think of grabbing one of its cute leaves, well, all I can say to you, bro, is may God have mercy on your soul, because what you will feel afterwards is a pain comparable to being stung by a box jellyfish. It's a pain that can't be described. People who have experienced it say that the pain they felt was actually more intense than anything they felt in their whole lives. Like a whole new level. The tiny hairs on the tree's leaves may look soft and harmless, but they're like shards of glass. Razor sharp. They're so small you can't even see them clearly in the photo. And on each hair you probably didn't even see there's a significant amount of venom. If you touch the leaf, all that venom will immediately enter your veins, poisoning you and causing excruciating pain for a very long time. So, even if you get rid of all the animals and insects in Australia, you are unfortunately still not safe. All the trees below us are mangrove trees. You can see the roots coming out in a pointed way from under the ground. These are all called mangrove roots. Many of the trees we're walking through are unique to this woodland. Most other forests in the world have been destroyed throughout history and had to regenerate, with a whole new set of plants and species, but this amazing forest still contains the same plants and species that existed 130 million years ago. Many of these are primitive plants, which existed before plants evolved into their current modern forms. Oh, look! Wow. See this fruit? If I eat this fruit right now, I'll die. This fruit is poisonous. In northern Australia in general, you find these insects called green ants. These ants are edible, and they taste like lemon. The indigenous people use them to make soup. Like a lemon soup. I'm going to try and catch one of them and see how it tastes. The problem is that they move in groups, and I'm worried if I grab one, the others will bite me. Here, I caught one. Let's give it a try. It really tastes like lemon. I haven't been paying attention to the time and now I'm running a little late. I need to return to the city to return the car. So I'm attempting to get back as soon as possible. Now I'm back on the ship we took earlier, driving the automobile aboard. The final step in car rental is returning it with a full tank. So I filled it up. It cost me $31. So it comes out to about $25 US, which is pretty great for filling the car. If you search for the largest living thing in the world today, you'll likely find information about elephants or the blue whale, these big animals. However, the world's largest living structure is the Great Barrier Reef, which is located off the coast of eastern Australia. While it's not a single living organism, it is the largest living structure composed of numerous life types. We're talking about a nearly 2,000-kilometer long, continuous structure that supports hundreds of ecosystems that thrive in the ocean. Today I'm in Cairns, heading out on a boat trip to the Great Barrier Reef, right into the heart of the ocean, to dive in and see it all up close. There are tons of companies you can book a trip with. Just look at all these boats heading out to the Great Barrier Reef. But I went with this one in particular. The full-day trip costs around $150, and that includes snorkeling gear and food. As soon as I boarded, they gave me ocean-ready gear and handed me a snorkel. Our trip is about an hour and a half into the ocean, because we're not going to one of the reefs close to the shore. We're heading to the reefs located in the middle of the ocean. The Great Barrier Reef is not fully on land. A big portion of it is far out at sea. So we've been sailing for nearly an hour and still have about half an hour to go. This is our boat. And we have about 20 minutes before we can dive into the water. The ocean in Australia is home to crocodiles and box jellyfish, the ones we saw earlier, which are considered the most venomous creatures in the world. And there's also the stonefish, the most venomous fish in the world, and the blue-ringed octopus, which is the most dangerous octopus in the world. And this is just a brief overview of the amazing creatures found in the water here. So today we have a fun day ahead of us. We're going to swim and enjoy ourselves in the Pacific Ocean. By the way, the Great Barrier Reef stretches over 2,300 kilometers, making it larger than the entire United Kingdom. We're not talking about a mountain or a building. This is a gigantic breathing reef system.
To begin with, I'm just going to run you guys through how the snorkeling's going to go.
What we do if we see a jellyfish?
You will not see a jellyfish because it's outside of the season. All the jellyfish are gone.
Australia has unfortunately the highest rate of skin cancer in the world. So when you come to Australia, you must wear sunscreen or you'll get severely burned. Better be safe than sorry. Believe it or not, nearly 2/3 of Australians have already faced skin cancer at some stage in their lives. So please be careful because this is no joke. It's time to get into the water. A dream is about to come true. Diving into the Great Barrier Reef. fascinating. I finally done it. I was honestly surprised that it's so beautiful. To be honest, my expectations weren't very high because I heard that most of the coral is dead. But in reality, the colors I saw in the coral here are literally something I've never seen in my life. Even though I've dived 1,000 times in 1,000 places, this is something else. It looked like a painting, as if an artist had come down and colored the coral. I saw a huge, strange shell that looked like it had lips, a blue color with golden spots. It's the first time in my life I've seen something like this. Honestly, it deserves to be one of the natural wonders of the world. Now let's have lunch. Our trip includes lunch. They prepared a nice buffet for us. It had all kinds of salads and meats.
What are the options?
Hi, we have a green curry with chicken or vegetarian stew.
Chicken.
Yeah?
Yeah, please.
Would you like some rice with it?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy. Then there's nuts and walnut.
The lunch is excellent. There are all kinds of salads, and we have chicken and fish. Let's taste this lovely dish.
Just stay where we are, folks. Won't be long as nobody moves.
After lunch, we went to another spot to see the coral. This is the place. Look how we are in the middle of the ocean. The closest land to us is about 10 kilometers away. We are really far, and still, we are in the gigantic Great Barrier Reef. I finished swimming for today and changed my clothes. Did you know that the Great Barrier Reef holds about 1/3 of all the coral reefs in the entire world? And get that? Just the size of the reef system here in Australia is roughly equal to the size of Italy, like all of Italy. The Great Barrier Reef served as inspiration for the film Finding Nemo. Nemo lived here, and Nemo's father traveled to Sydney via the East Australian Current. There are numerous ocean currents constantly flowing beneath the surface of the sea, and one of the most well-known among them is actually the one that flows right through this exact area where we are at the moment. The currents in this region we're exploring today move like real rivers beneath the ocean. They help marine animals migrate from north to south, reaching Antarctica and many other distant islands along the way. So these creatures use these currents like secret underwater highways. So when Nemo and Dory jumped into one of them, it wasn't just some made-up animated idea, it was based on real science.
Hi. No, I'm staying on the boat. 88.
88. Two
Yeah.
ladies. Present.
Kassem El Hatto.
You'll notice the crew regularly checks to make sure everyone's on board. And that's not just some random routine. A similar trip like the one we're on today occurred in 1998, when a group of divers coming from Cairns, just like us, arrived to swim in the coral reefs. So at the end of the day, when the boat returned, 2 American passengers, Elaine and Tom, had been left behind. No one realized they were missing until 3 days later, when someone searched the boat and found their belongings still on board. Strange, no? What's even stranger is that to this day, no one really knows what happened to them, because their bodies were never found. However, approximately a week later, a note written by Tom washed ashore, claiming that they required assistance and had been abandoned on the reef. If no one came for them soon enough, they would die. Interestingly, the first assumption was that they'd been attacked by sharks. But after several days had passed, and to make this even weirder, the life jackets of this couple were unexpectedly found washed up on a beach in Cairns. There were no signs of blood or any kind of attack on both life jackets. And later, they found some of Tom's personal belongings, including his diary, where he had written about his longing for death, specifically a peaceful and quiet one that would finally bring him rest. He also said in his diary that if he were to die, he wanted his wife to die with him. Nobody knows what happened to them even now. Like, did they die or not? Were they eaten by sharks? What happened is still unclear. Strange things happen in Australia. This is why every boat leaving today ensures that everyone is on board and will return safely. The company that transported Tom and Elaine was shut down and faced legal action. So, in Australia, if you don't get stung by a jellyfish, devoured by a shark, or bitten by a snake, you might as well decide to go diving on a sunny day and just disappear. Like forever. The nice thing about diving and snorkeling here is that the water is really warm, perfect for swimming. This place is massive. It stretches as far as the eye can see, and full of vibrant coral throughout the reef.
It's not just one giant reef, it is 3,000 different small reef systems all put together. So it's lots and lots of little reefs put together. Back in the day, there was this guy called Flinders. He's the guy who found the Great Barrier Reef, and in his diaries, he broke down how the reef was this great barrier to him getting around Australia. So everyone just sort of picked the name. And it actually does act as a barrier, protecting Australia from all of the waves and things like that. So that we just kept the name because it's relatively quite apt.
So we checked off one of the items on our bucket list and are now heading back to the city of Cairns. This is it, this is Cairns. As you can see, we're surrounded by beautiful forests. This is what makes Cairns such an amazing place. So anyway, we're heading back now.
Thanks a lot.
All right, brother, take care.
Bye-bye.
We've arrived in Cairns. The boat ride was really nice, definitely worth it. I mean, it's a shame to come here and not visit the Great Barrier Reef.
Bye-bye. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.
I just reached the airport after a long and enjoyable vacation to Cairns. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Now, is wildlife in Australia truly dangerous? Honestly, there are indeed some dangerous animals and snakes. In this video, you've seen a lot of things that could harm you while you're in Australia. But if you're cautious, if you don't go grasping trees you shouldn't touch, and don't walk into unfamiliar parts of the forest, you should be all right. To be honest, the hazards in this country are worth it for the breathtaking scenery. So far, the nature I've seen in Australia is breathtaking, the people are pleasant, and life is generally beautiful and worth visiting, despite the dangers. Australia is definitely a destination worth visiting. May your journeys be many and your adventures endless. Goodbye.